As a football program, we are looking forward to this Saturday. Opportunity for us to honor our 95 Rose Bowl team, honor a group of people that, it's one of the most iconic teams in all of college football history. Opportunity to honor an incredible coach, an incredible group of players, incredible group of coaches, and something that we've been looking forward to, and certainly looking forward to celebrating that group on Saturday. The best way that we can honor that group is having a great week of preparation and preparing ourselves to accomplish our mission this week is to position ourselves to find a way to beat Purdue. Having an opportunity yesterday and this morning to review the Penn State tape as a staff and with our players this morning. There are a lot of things that we need to continue to improve upon and make progress in, but ultimately really proud of the way that our guys handled a hostile environment, the way that we responded in difficult situations, having a punt blocked early in the first quarter, muffing a punt at a critical time in the second quarter, that ultimately did not allow us to capitalize on some momentum that was building. Were signs that we got a resilient football team, a team that understands what it looks like to respond, and ultimately a team that took a lead, lost a lead, and found a way to win in the fourth quarter. So plenty to clean up, but certainly a lot to build upon. Being able to go on the road in the Big Ten and come home with a win, is something that has an opportunity to build confidence. And how do you continue to build off that confidence? You build off of it with, a great week of preparation. We got a really good Purdue football team coming in here. Coach Odom did an exceptional job in his time at UNLV, has done a great job in his short time at Purdue. Great football coach, great defensive mind. He's hired a really talented offensive staff. They've done a good job with their personnel. Yet to find a win in the Big Ten, but again, we've talked about this, as a group before. It's any given Saturday in the Big Ten, and you better bring your best every single week. And Purdue presents a lot of problems. They're well coached, good personnel. They held Minnesota, that traditionally is a team that runs the football as anyone, as well as anyone in the country. I believe they held Minnesota to 30 yards of rushing this past Saturday. Offensively, they're going to tempo you. Very talented on the perimeter. Quarterback is a competitor. Does a good job in the pass game, extends plays, and can be utilized in quarterback run game. Going to be critical that we have a great Monday practice this evening and continue to focus on daily improvement.
Dave?
You had some big wins in 23 at Wisconsin in your bowl game. A lot of people are looking at this game this past Saturday as a signature win. Is that a fair way to look at it, do you think?
From the outside, Dave, I don't know. I don't know if it's a fair way to look at it. What I can tell you is, we challenged our football team in fall camp. Going back to May, we challenged our football team to be Big Ten ready. What did that look like? It meant guys getting back to full health. It meant guys meeting their weight goals. It meant guys being stronger at the end of May than they were at the beginning. Fall camp, we challenged them that our mission was to prepare them for the arena. Like, fall camp was going to be more difficult than anything they had ever experienced through their football career. In post-Tulane, we challenged our group, you're prepared for the arena, but you haven't proven it yet. And, in week 2, we proved as a football team that we can do it in the arena. In that case, against Western Illinois, it was a Friday. What I can say about Saturday is this group should be able to look at Saturday and acknowledge that when we have a great week of preparation, when we communicate and we play as a team and have all 11 on the same page and we execute at a high level, we should feel abundantly confident that we can compete and beat anyone in the country. But there also has to be a certain level of humility and understanding that if we don't do those things, there's any team, we can be beat by any team in the country as well.
Ted?
Coach, there's been good progress made in running the football against Oregon, UCLA, and last week against Penn State. Those are all Big Ten teams. Those are not, maybe an opponent might look a little weaker on the schedule. That is something that I'm sure that you're going to press upon going forward. This is who we want to be.
Yeah, it is. It comes back to, like, who are we? As we had a chance to evaluate where this team was at, a critical piece in our formula to win in football games has to be to win the rushing battle. And, the final stats didn't win the rushing battle against Penn State, but if you take those sacks out and you look at the yards gained, we did. And I give Coach Lujan and our players a lot of credit. The run game early against Penn State wasn't, anything to awe about, but we were moving the line of scrimmage. We were efficient in the run game. We were staying ahead of the sticks. And the fun part to see is you got into that fourth quarter and you saw those last two drives, you really start to see things pry open and show evidence that that you're wearing down your opponent. And the time of possession was critical to our success on Saturday. I think our defense only had to defend 51 snaps. Like, really proud of the way that our defense played, but ultimately we were truly delivering on playing complementary football. But, that has to be something that isn't an occasional thing. That has to show up every single week. And our group has proven to have the ability to do that so far.
But, Coach, the big thing is you stuck with it.
Yes.
You stayed with it, and it paid dividends in the final quarter of the game.
It did. And it's a credit. It's a credit to Coach Lujan. There had to be a level of patience there and trust with our guys. And, huge credit to him, huge credit to the offensive line.
Matt?
Over the last 3 games, I think there's kind of been a common denominator, with a phrase that you use sometimes, you want your team to take a breath. UCLA late in the game on defense, ULM after the opening drive, and then Penn State after the blocked punt. Where did you kind of find that phrase, and what do you think leads to your team's ability to reset and respond? Yeah,
I think it's something that has probably been messaged 100 different ways from me, over the last few years or throughout my entire career of coaching. But honestly, it's something that Coach Lujan talks about a lot. And it's like, what? I like the way that he's phrasing that. I'm going to start using that not just with the offense, but the entire team. It's when we talk as a team, Matt, about things that are critical to our success, we need to lean into our intelligence that we have on our football team. These are guys that not only are playing at the highest level of college football, but they're earning degrees from Northwestern. We got a smart group. But you have these high achievers, hyper-intellectual, smart individuals that at times are so prideful that they can get in their own way. We need to play smart and trust our preparation, but we need to play decisive. And we need to do a great job of flushing whatever's behind us, whether it's good or bad. And it's really just an opportunity for us as a team. Like, hey, we're going to take a breath. We're going to forget about the past. We're going to focus on the present. And to answer your question directly, stole it from Coach Lujan.
Jake?
Coach, you evoked Gary Barnett with the Expect Victory mantra post-Penn State. With the 30-year commemoration of the Rose Bowl team coming up this weekend, how are you sort of deriving lessons from program history and pairing them with this year's team's unique identity? Yeah,
I think that's kind of like the fun part. There's a lot of fun parts about being a head coach, and then there's plenty that's not so fun. But the best programs that I've been around have a certain level of reverence for what has come before them. And that's something that I never want to lose at Northwestern, whether it go back to Coach Barnett, Coach Walk, Coach Fitz. Things that we acknowledge and appreciate of the successes that this program has seen both on and off the field. But this year commemorating the '95 Rose Bowl team, I've done some of my own research, and it was really neat. Pre-Oregon game was in with Joel Klatt, who was at Colorado and knows Coach Barnett, and we had talked about the phrase "expect victory." But he actually took me through an exercise Coach Barnett went through every single year at the beginning of the season. Who are we, where are we going, and how are we going to get there? I'm immediately scrambling for a pen, and I'm taking down these notes, and it couldn't have been more perfect timing, because 24 hours later we're frustrated after a loss to Oregon, going into a bye week, 3-week sample size, and literally that's the exercise that we went through as a program over the bye week. Like, we better find out who we are. We better really put a clear line in the sand of exactly where we're going that aligns with our goals. And we better ask, like, how are we going to actually get there with our actions? And, whether it came directly from Coach Barnett or not, he gave us some pretty sweet nuggets here at the beginning of the season.